Hey guys, Moose here. Welcome back to another episode of Life of Feudal Forest Village. We get a few questions in the comments that I want to answer. One of which, like, I could tell you the function off the top of my head, kind of, or how I use them, but I can't tell you what they actually do. And that question was, what's the difference between trade fairs and barns? Which is a good question. So, they both hold stuff, right? Oh, this one's empty. We should get that out of there. Okay, difference between trade fairs and barns. So first off, let's look at the description. We all know what a barn is. Barn holds stuff. You know, that's pretty straightforward. But a trade fair is a little different. Where was it? Here? No. It was under castle buildings, right? Oh no, they put it under here as a new thing under trade fair. Okay, so if you click on it, it says keeping resources for people. So that was not the original. Damn it, I knew this before. I knew this because I looked at it and I talked about it in a video, but it was like 50 episodes ago when I first built these. Let me try to... It has something to do with who is taking stuff out of it. So... the idea was basically that a barn was a storage spot. You store things in a barn. Things are stored in a trade fair, but that's not the point. The point isn't for stuff to sit here and stay there. It's like a staging area. So stuff like... I can't quite remember. So... it's like a short-term thing. It has something to do with like the priority of how things are stored or something like that. Part of the idea might have been that, hey, you'd put trade fairs near here so that the workers just put them in here and then leave it. Because there's something about how it had something to do with the difference between, okay, so you have someone harvesting, right? You have someone harvesting stuff here, but if you have only farmers that can harvest from a farm, do you want the same farmers to carry the stuff to a barn? No, ideally you don't. Only if they have free time at the end. You want them to focus on harvesting first. More than anything else. You don't want them to be the ones taking stuff out of here. I think a trade fair had something to do with getting non-professionals to take stuff to the trade fair. I don't recall. So the idea is that this is more about workers moving stuff than farmers moving stuff, for example. But I don't recall how that actually worked. Now it's all overwritten. This is definitely not what it always said. It's kind of, I'm a little bit pissed off that they've been so lazy that they made it say the same thing. Trade fair, keeping resources for people. Barn, keeping resources for people. That's not what it always said. They may be like, I don't want to say covering up, but they may be like rewriting it to be like, oh, well, maybe it didn't work as intended, so now we're just like changing it so that no one has any expectation that it'll do anything more than what a barn does, which would be really annoying, but my understanding, I think, is kind of like trade fairs are not permanent store. They're like much more temporary storage, basically. Stuff is meant to like go in and come out right away, basically. I think. I could be completely incorrect about that. But that was my understanding. It was like an efficiency improvement for harvesting, or mining, or, well, not mining. Anything, it can only do barn stuff, so it's gotta be like hide or stuff you harvest, basically. So yeah, that's, you know, that was my understanding. And then this, the other question I got, which, I mean, I got 3 questions, but one of them, the guy figured it out himself. Where did I get sheep? Now, it's understandable that you wouldn't know this, because it's been probably 130 episodes or more since I had one of these, but there's a thing called a port. Where the hell is it? I don't know where the hell ports were. They should be here, right? No, they'll be here. Yeah, this thing. Port. You can make a port, and you can send ships on an expedition, and they'll come back, unlock a new thing. A new thing is either a new crop, a new tree for the orchards, or a new animal for the pastures. So that's where I got sheep. And I think that's also where I got... I think you start with chickens and that's it. And then I got pigs. I don't have any pigs right now, but the sheep and cows mainly. Ooh, new research time. Only one more. And then we go to the next tier, I assume. Perhaps incorrectly, but maybe. I'll probably upgrade the castle after this one to hopefully get faster research or something. But yeah, that's how you get sheep. You build a port. And then you go find them. It's RNG which one you get, so you can't just pick, you know, hey, I want a sheep. But you do get to pick which, if you want more crops, trees, or livestock, you pick which one of those, I think. To be totally fair, I haven't used a port in a very long time, so they could have changed the way that works, so I could be totally wrong. Probably not, though. Alright. How did we want to do this? I don't really like that. That didn't work the way that I wanted it to. Okay. Give it a space of 1. Okay, I think I set those up properly. We'll let the 2 build and then build off that later. I don't... Actually, I should get these working. I was gonna say I don't really have a need to get them working, but I totally do. We don't have that much flour. Granted, a lot of what I make in the bakeries doesn't use flour, but still. Okay, unlock that. And then we're gonna start building it up for trading for more leather. Or hide, rather, which is effectively leather, but same idea. Yeah, I'm kind of mad about the trade fair thing. Like, I know there was a logic to it. I understood it before. Or maybe I was stupid and I'm assuming that I wasn't stupid, but I actually was. It definitely had something to do with, like, basically minimizing the amount of work that the actual harvester would have to do. Because you don't want them to be hauling, really. It's similar to how you would look at RimWorld or something. Like, if you had skilled labor, you're the only person you have that can cook, you don't want them to be hauling, like, rock across the map. You want them to be focused on actually, like, cooking, right? Same thing with farmers. You want them to be farming, because that's where you get your food. You don't want them to be worrying about hauling the food anywhere. So something about the way a trade fair worked was supposed to make that better than a barn, but I can't verbalize that. I don't remember how to describe what that actually was. Which makes me think it might have all been bullshit, and I'm stupid. So, at this point, I'm not really sure. But it's really bothering me now. I know there was some logic to it, or there was supposed to be anyway. And at least at one point it made sense to me. Whether or not it still would, I don't know, but at one point it made sense. Alright, these guys are done, so let's build the next two. Yeah, I maybe should have gone back one, I don't know. I think this is fine, though. It's just kind of tight, but, I mean, that's acceptable. Really, there's no reason for me to care if it's tight or not, because we're not really looking for roads here. I think pavement automatically is a brick road, basically, so they should be quick. Whether they're kind of like snug or not, it shouldn't matter. At least I don't think it should, but what I think is not reality, necessarily, so. Buildings are almost full. Yeah, that's getting up there, I guess. They're all kind of almost full. I need to get my workers back, my farmers back, I meant. We probably have enough warehouse-based resources at this point. Realistically, we're doing okay. Could use a few more laborers here. We don't really have that much manpower. I don't know why this... Can this actually be like a null value? It can't just be a 0. Also, why is the 0 like pushed further out than these? That's bought... Like, there's a couple... I'm just noticing this now. There's a couple that, like, don't line up. I was gonna say it's the ones that have double digits here, but that doesn't... The 13 and the 18 don't have it, and the 10 does, so what... You see what I mean? They're like offset slight. That's so weird. What the hell's going on? Yeah, alright. You know, this game's showing its, you know, its rough edges where it's not very... I'm trying to... Should I say not very well made? Is that unfair to the developer? I don't know. It's got some issues. We already knew that. I mean, we're more than 200 episodes in now, so we're well aware that the game has some issues. That's not up for debate at this point, but we probably know that better than almost anyone else. I wouldn't say that I've got more time in this game than anyone else, although it's possible. I would more likely say that I've put more thought into this game than almost anyone else outside of the development team. Who I believe is Russian or Eastern European. I think. I don't actually know. I believe they're Eastern European, but I could be completely wrong about that. You are out of what? You're out of ore? Really? Okay. Well, we should probably relocate those anyway. Is that... I should see if I can actually do that up here. It'd be hilarious if I could put it right here. And they somehow get water, which I don't think is actually possible. Yeah, they can't build up here. That makes sense. So they have to be like over in this area. So that's gonna take a little bit. We have to basically be sure that we're done. And it needs to be over here because it has to be near the warehouses. Oh well. I think I know what I want to do for that then. But I need these jokers to cut down these trees. I need this area to be kind of like visible before I can build over there. They're doing pretty good work up this way, but that's up here. Need more than that. Alright. Still collecting resources for this, surprisingly. You should have, like, way more than enough, like, really close by, but... I guess this is an example of where the researchers are the only ones who can haul the resources over. No one else will do it automatically. Like, I could probably control someone and make them do it, but... Oh, here comes the lag. Fog lag. There it goes. Alright. Better. Is it time to put bakers to work? It'd be 8 people. I don't really feel like I have that kind of spare bandwidth right now. I might. Okay. Alright, this looks flat enough. This is probably fine. So what I can do... How do I want to do this? If I build stairs right at the corner, do I want them at the corner? Yeah, I probably do, don't I? And we'll just start with 2. I could totally do more later. That's on the table. And then right after that, I want to build 2 of these guys, probably. This one's kind of ugly, but actually, no, that's alright. I kind of like it's growing on me a little bit. Please, I'm right-clicking. I don't know why I had to right-click like 8 times for it to decide that I didn't want to have my watchtower still designating there, but whatever. Okay, so this will prevent animals from getting up here, which is something we needed to do. It's not a huge deal, but I just want to minimize the amount of animals that can get over to the donkeys. I know it's not going to happen often, but it will happen occasionally if I don't do something. So I might want to put another one like around here, but I think this is enough of a choke point that they'll probably not be able to get around. Like the vast majority of the time they're not going to make it. So I'll upgrade them one at a time. Once this is built, it'll be a lot easier, because I don't have to go around to get the resources for it, so it should go faster. But that remains to be seen. Getting the stairs done first is the big thing. We need those, obviously. Goes without saying. This takes a surprisingly large amount of resources to build one of those, which makes sense, because it doesn't have to be manned. So it's a pretty... Watchtowers are pretty OP. If you ask me. Yeah, don't work on that, though. Work on the stairs. The stairs are ready to be worked on. There's 10 of you, so you have enough to work on them. I don't know why they're not. There they go. Okay. You're gonna go home. You're gonna do some murdering first. It's very high sensitivity. Just in case you didn't know this, Life is Feudal Forest Village is actually a Twitch shooter. Alright, I think I got everything. Nope. Almost. There we go. Yep, alright, this should be finished shortly. Not really too worried about the towers, they'll get done when they get done. Like, I don't expect there to be a tremendous amount of animals coming up here. Honestly, the towers are, like, at least partially for cosmetic reasons, but still, I like having them there. So what we're gonna do is this is gonna be like the smelting district, if you want to call it that, I guess. Sort of a weird way of putting it, but that's kind of what we're gonna have down there. And we could put hunting down here too if we really wanted, but that, I don't know if we care. We've kind of found a way to get semi-infinite leather, so... I maybe don't care to get more? We'll see. Alright, the stairs are functional even if they're not fully built. They're building this in a very strange way, but I'll take it. As long as they're building it. There's another bear here, that's why I'm... I just don't want any animals coming up here, you know? It's very rude for them to invade my privacy like this, so I'm gonna murder them if I get the chance. This guy is, like, really working his ass off. He's putting in a lot of time. There we go. Tony, you're a hard worker. Did that bear, like, totally bail? I think he did. It's like the one over here. Yeah, he's the one... No, that's a moose. Where the hell the bear... Is that the bear? Surely not. Oh, there he is. Okay. They don't travel that far that quickly. They do travel, but not like that. Just like a deer, like, twerking over there. It was like stuck on some terrain, that's why it was doing that. Alright, I think I cleared out everything. Oh, no. It's like a... It's a boar, right? It's not a wolf. Yeah, it's a boar. Well, it's dead now. Alright, good enough. One set of stairs built. Both of the towers are actually coming up fairly quickly here. That's good to see. I'd like to see the other stairs get built. They're nearly done, but I'm sure they will be finished in the next episode, which we are... I don't know. I screwed up that transition as much as was humanly possible. Sorry about that. But if you can gather from my broken attempt at an outro, it is time to end this episode. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Hope you'll join us for the next one as well. If you did enjoy it, feel free to come by twitch.tv/electronicmoose. Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, 6 to 8 p.m. PST, 9 to 11 p.m. EST. A lot of the VODs are getting posted to YouTube now, so you can kind of see what the streams are like. Feel free to come check one of them out live at the aforementioned times if you would like. But if you prefer to watch everything here on YouTube instead, I appreciate that all the same. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.